Africa. Jack Ma, the recently retired CEO of Alibaba, and a really smart guy, obviously, he's making Africa, it looks like his major focus now, at least a major focus. And in terms of building up the continent, I wonder if he's working on behalf of China, officially or unofficially, because obviously China has major investments in Africa, and Chinese tech companies are pretty much controlled, at least to some degree, by the Chinese government, or at least open to control, because that's how the system works. But anyway, Jack Dorsey is also moving to China next year. I mean, I guess, it's interesting reading Scott Galloway, who's a very thoughtful individual, Professor Scott Galloway of NYU. He's been talking a lot about Twitter, and he actually is recommending that Jack Dorsey be fired. But he's saying that, it's not enough. He's saying a lot of things, but one of the things he's saying is that it's not enough that Jack already gets the majority of his profits from Square as opposed to Twitter, because he splits his roles, obviously. But now he wants to move to Twitter. I mean, he wants to move to Africa in an election year, even though Twitter is even more so than Facebook now, apparently. He says the prime target for hacking. So he says it's like a dereliction of responsibility. He also talks about the Twitter board and a few other things. But getting back to Africa, so, those that are interested in growth, like investors, have to always chase markets that have the highest growth potential. And it used to be that was in Asia, so like China had really high growth. It still has high growth relative to the United States, but it slowed down to what it's been before recently. Before that, Japan, also Hong Kong, Singapore. I'm not sure if it's considered the same region or not, or a different region, because my geography, I admit, is not nearly as strong as it should be, but also perhaps, countries like Malaysia, Indonesia, Vietnam, a few others come to mind. So I'm not saying all these countries are right next to each other, because, again, my geography is not that good. But anyway, shortcomings aside, so, and then after Asia, I'm not sure if it was before or after, but Latin America was very big. Argentina got built up a lot. Panama obviously is big in banking, and other Latin American countries. And but there's been a lot of devaluation and things of that nature, and inflation, economic problems, drugs in some countries as well. And then what was the other region that was built up a lot? I mean, obviously Europe, with the European Union. There was one other region that I was thinking of, but that is escaping me right now. But anyway, so Africa is considered like the next IT, not IT computers. Well, maybe that too, but IT isn't the it thing. And, because the quote unquote industrialized or more industrialized or developed nations as opposed to the developing nations, investors flock more towards where there's a greater growth potential. So it seems like everybody has their foot in the door to Africa and wants to make an investment play there. I mean, obviously, China, as I mentioned, has already done incredible investments in terms of like infrastructure and natural resources and other types of investments. I'm sure tech investments as well. And it seems like Africa is poised at this point to be kind of like a battleground or a seeding ground or a playground perhaps for growth investors and people interested in trying to maximize things. And obviously a lot of research, I mean, even the Gates Foundation is very and philanthropy is very focused on Africa and other regions as well, to try to help with living conditions. I mean, a lot of agriculture, helping farming and things of that nature, even lending, like there's a lot of micro lenders and things like that, helping people, trying to help in Africa. So Africa is a big focus right now for a lot of people, it seems to be.